Halloween is over for another year. This is UK Theme Parks. Thanks for joining us today as we review our Halloween experience for 2019. Of course, at the end of this, we will be looking at our top 3 haunts for this season. Now then, we visited quite a lot of places during the 2019 season. Some different ones as well, and some that we've been to before we didn't revisit. New ones included Screamland down in Margate, where we had a cracking time down there. We also went to Dr. Fright's for the first time, and this year we sat out on Primeval and indeed Tully's, although it may not be a popular decision, we never got to Tully's this year. We've experienced quite a lot of mazes along the way. You can see some of the footage we've taken from the various vlogs from around up and down the country, visiting our favourite places, which include Extreme Scream Park, which you see here, home to the village, and of course the Pie Factory, Hoodoo Voodoo and more. And then of course over to Screamfest in Burton, which had this new Hillbilly maze, brand new for 2019, replacing Demonica, along with some of our favourites including Insomnia and Love Hurts. We saw some old favourites as well at the theme parks. We headed to Alton Towers and unfortunately had to do Subspecies and Project 42, along as well with the Attic, which was, yeah, maybe we'll get back onto that one later. Chessington World Adventures, a definite mention to them with their new maze Spiders, although we didn't particularly enjoy it, it has gone down quite well, and along with Creepy Caves, which unfortunately we didn't get to do the extreme version, which we hear was really intense. So hopefully that comes back for next year and we will be able to make time for it. Unfortunately, time was of the essence as we travel up and down the country living on the south coast, but we did experience quite a lot of haunts along the way. There were quite a lot of scares, and there were actually some jumps too from, you know, the new places and the old places. So first we're going to have a look at some honourable mentions. One that isn't on here actually is the Paranormal, which we did at Warwick Castle, but we have 3 honourable mentions for this season. Now the first one is at Dr. Fright's, and that's the Hollywood Horror. We did a couple of Hollywood based mazes, but the scenes in this one were really intense, and I mean really intense. A stunning maze, really well put together with some great frights and some good scenery as well. Our next one comes from Screamland, and that comes from the Sleep Experiment. This was really full on, and I think if this had been a tad longer, this definitely would have made the top 3, but a really great maze, certainly our favourite down in Screamland. And finally at Fort Park really pulled it out this year. We had a great time at the event, and Creep Freak Massacre was one of their best themed and most intense mazes they've ever done, and a huge step in the right direction, and hopefully something they can build on in 2020. But in at number 3, Love Hurts at Screamfest in Burton. Previously our favourite maze. Love Hurts is a really strange kind of experience where you go into this old pub and you look for love. However, once you get inside, you know, you'll find that people are getting killed, and people are sort of, you know, perhaps not meeting the match they want to meet. It's a really quite gruesome yet intense experience. You've got some stunning scenery throughout, from entering kind of through a toilet right the way to people being bludgeoned in the middle, and of course the famous chainsaw ending behind the curtain. Love Hurts was definitely back on form this year, and we think it's the best it's been since its opening year, and really look forward hopefully getting back on it next year. In at number 2, unbelievably becomes the Attic at Alton Towers. Now we have generally had a dreadful time at Alton Towers Scarefest the last few years since sort of the Sanctuary left and mazes like that. We haven't come across anything very good. We didn't enjoy any of the other mazes the park had to offer, but the Attic was brand new for 2019, and some real thought went into it as well, because you entered the towers kind of through the old Sanctuary building where Tower of the Terrors was, and you headed up the flights of stairs effectively to the attic of the towers. It was beautifully put together, and I mean beautifully put together. The sets were realistic, the scenes were intense, the lighting was perfect, the jump scares were brilliant, there was some amazing effects in there, there was some projections as well, and you know, the heat section at the end where you effectively have been sort of sent to hell was really something special. The Attic at Alton Towers is the best maze they've had since the Sanctuary, and you know, we really want to hear your thoughts on this, to be honest with you, because I know a lot of people like Subspecies and some of the other mazes that were there, which we didn't enjoy, but but we thought the attic really stood out. So be sure to leave those in the comments below. But Alton Towers, in our view, really pulled it out with the attic. Number one, we had to have a think about this, but Stilton Hall Hotel at Extreme Screen Park comes in at number one for the first time. They took it last year with the Village. We didn't get a great run through the Village this time, or as good a run as what we've had in the past. Whilst it is still an absolutely stunning maze, the Village, Stilton Hall Hotel really stood out for us this year. You know, this is a massive double floor maze with 60 plus incredibly themed rooms, and one of our massive things that we've said throughout the whole of Halloween is if you've got incredible theming, your eyes are drawn to the theming and taken away from the scares. So when the scares happen, they do make you jump, and Stilton Hall Hotel is probably the best one for that, because the scenes are so intense and they're so in depth, and then they really get you into sort of being in a completely different place. You know, when you're walking upstairs and you're going through these tight rooms, you feel like you're in a hotel. And you're looking around and you're looking at the scenery and you're trying to find where the scares will come, and they will not come from where you're expecting them to come. They had a couple of new scenes this year and a couple of new hiding places. We were the only ones that went through it at the start. It's the first maze we went to, and it was absolutely incredible. And Extreme Screen Park, again, have arguably the best themed mazes of anywhere in the country. They're all just utterly stunning from start to finish, and we really enjoyed our time there. The Stilton Hall Hotel takes our number one spot. But, you know, please respect it, that's our choice. You know, we didn't go to all the big scare mazes, so what did we miss out on this year? Be sure to leave it in the comments below. Where did you go? What did you enjoy? And what was your number one? Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.